Hello, thank you for joining us on World Now. We begin in Nigeria's National Assembly, where the country's president, Bola Tinubu, earlier presented the 2025 budget to a joint session of federal legislators. The budget is titled the Restoration Budget, Securing Peace, Rebuilding Prosperity in Nigeria.
The 2025 budget that I present to you today is one of the restoration. It seeks to consolidate the key policies we have instituted to restructure our economy, boost human capital development, increase the volume of trade and investment, bolster oil and gas production, get our manufacturing sector humming again, and ultimately increase the competitiveness of our great nation and economy.
And the budget has its key highlights in defense and security, which is allocated 4.91 trillion naira, infrastructure allocated 4.06 trillion naira, health allocated 2.48 trillion naira, education 3.52 trillion naira.
Key priority areas: rebuilding Nigeria. Our budgetary allocation underscore this administration's strategic priorities, particularly in advancing renewable agenda and achieving its developmental objectives. The highlights of the 2025 budget allocations: defense and security, 4.91 trillion naira. Infrastructure, 4.06 trillion naira. Health, 2.48 trillion naira. Education, 3.5 trillion naira.
The president also highlighted key economic achievement of his administration over the last 18 months.
For infrastructure development, we launched the Renew Hope Infrastructure Development Fund. It was with the conviction that infrastructure remains the backbone of every thriving economy. Under this program, we are accelerating investment in energy, transport, and public works. By leveraging private capital, we hope to complete key projects and give growth and create more jobs. We have already embarked on key legacy projects: Lagos-Calabar-Kusa Highway, Sokoto and Badagry Highway. They will have a huge impact on the lives of our people and accelerate economic growth. That is the rationale behind that. Our administration has so far disbursed 34 billion naira to over 300,000 students through the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NELFund. In the 2025 budget, we have made provision for 825.90 billion naira for infrastructure development in education sector. This includes those for the universal basic education UBEC and the 9 new higher educational institutions.
And senior reporter TVC News was at the National Assembly during the presentation and joins us to give us details of the exercise. TVC, thank you for for joining us. Reactions have been trailing the major highlight of the presentation today. That's in defense and security, which were allocated, the highest in that sense. Talk to us about the major takes for the senators today, especially looking at the recent figures that we are seeing, which is the highest in 3 decades.
Well, Olumide, I would say from the part of the senators, they feel quite enthusiastic about this budget because they see it as a sort of a renewed hope for Nigerians, although some of them have expressed mixed feelings about it because of some projections already made in terms of the budget deficit, in terms of the oil production benchmark, and some other issues that were raised. One issue that's quite significant for the lawmakers is the timing the budget was being brought to the National Assembly for consideration. This is coming quite late to the National Assembly, and it will take quite a bit of time for them to consider, and that will also speak to if they can maintain that January to December budget cycle. But for the lawmakers, they are saying, okay, this is not really a problem. Currently, we have 3 budgets running concurrently at the moment, and they said, for this to, sail through properly, they have to conclude with this budget. Already, the 2024 budget has been extended to June 2025. So this will give them ample time for them, to consider this 2025 budget and set it running. But to give us more perspective on this, I have with me here the senator representing Nasarawa. His name is Senator Aliyu Wadada, and he's also the chairman on public accounts. Senator, so what are your thoughts about this budget that was presented here at the National Assembly today?
Well, let me start by saying that this is a very, very ambitious budget, which of course is unprecedented because Nigerians had never seen it at this level. At level of the figures, and looking at the various proposed allocations, one could be hopeful that Nigeria is bouncing back. But it's beyond hope. What is key is implementation. How far and how much this robust and very ambitious budget can be implemented. If implemented to a very reasonable level or higher than the experiences we've had over the years, then Nigerians will definitely have reasons to celebrate. It is, of course, as the President presented it, as a budget of transformation, budget of restoration, and budget of hope. We are really hopeful. And like I always said, that renewed hope can only be achieved when we change our ways. Because the hope cannot be renewed if we stick to the old ways. And from what we have seen today, of course, there is a paradigm shift. And that paradigm shift is expected to bring the needed and required results to Nigeria and Nigerians. So my take is that, yes, I commend the boldness, I commend the courage, I commend the commitment as well of putting together such a document. But I challenge the implementation.
Well, you spoke about not sticking to old ways. We saw the President of the Senate in his remarks issuing a stern warning to the heads of media, ministries, departments and agencies to ensure that they honor the invitation of lawmakers when they call for budget defense. Of course, we know your committee, Public Accounts, has always tendered that complaint from heads of ministry, departments, agencies not honoring your invitation. Do you think this will actually prompt them to do better?
Well, it should, without even being mentioned by the Senate President or by anybody. If they are truly responsible and responsive to where they are, they have no reason whatsoever not to be showing up to constituted authority. And to me and for me, their lack of their irresponsiveness to the calls or invitations of the National Assembly, depicts, as far as I'm concerned, disrespect and lack of commitment to the success of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. Because if you are really loyal and committed to the success of your boss, you will have no reason not to want to go to where questions will be asked and answers will be provided for the right data to be gotten. Because if the president doesn't have the right data, there's no way he's gonna be able. With wrong data, you take decisions or you plan on wrong data, your results are bound to be wrong. And so, but the good thing about this side is whoever we call and the person refuses to respond, we have constitutional powers to issue warrant of arrest and get the person arrested. But for crying out loud, like I've always said, we are here on this side sitting on mandate. The heads of ministries, departments and agencies are all appointees. So why would they not want to respect constituted authority and institution of legislature, the symbol of democracy, under President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, who had worked seriously over the years to see to entrenchment and, of course, development of democracy in Nigeria.
A quick one, Senator, before I let you go. The January to December budget cycle, which, the National Assembly and the executive have tried to keep, with the budget coming now, do you think that that legacy can be sustained?
We hope so, but it will be extremely difficult for it to be sustained. But we'll cross the bridge when we get to it.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Well, you've heard there from distinguished Senator Aliyu Wadada. It remains to be seen how this budget will be implemented and, stick to the January to December budget cycle. But, of course, they still keep hopes alive and, when they begin the debate, which I believe will begin tomorrow, they'll begin to debate on, the principles of what is contained in that bill. Some of the technicalities that, some may have issues with, will be brought to bear and, they'll put all that in perspective before, they proceed on their break.
TJ, we'll be looking forward to that debate, and of course we'll be back with you for more updates. That's our senior reporter at the National Assembly, TJ.